Hey, so you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aisha the Shade. This is Aisha's Life. Today I'm going to be telling y'all the story time about how I went blind. I've been wanting to tell this story on this channel for a minute, but I wanted to build an audience up over here a little bit first before I got real personal with y'all. And I know in some of my videos y'all may have seen me or heard me say I'm blind, so you know, if I do this wrong, that's why. Because I am. I suffer from a condition called idiopathic intracranial hypertension, or pseudotumor cerebri, IH, however you want to say it, however you know it as. That is what we're talking about today. I went blind at the age of 16 years old. I am now 25, and a lot has happened in these few years that I have been blind. There's a lot of accepting that has happened since I've been blind. There was a lot of depression, anxiety, and all that. If that is something you want to say, please keep on watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button with that bell, press all to your all notifications, and check out more story times in my story time playlist. It's a lot of craziness over there, so go check it out. Okay, so we're going to start this story off basically with my symptoms. What I was going through, what I was experiencing, and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. So when I was 16, I was a freshman in high school, I want to say. And I really seriously thought there was nothing wrong with me at first. And then I was telling my friend Janice, like, girl, I don't know what's going on, but my eyes, they doing something. They doing something. And it will always happen on my sixth period. Sixth period. And I was in theology. Every time these total blackouts would happen, like I would just be perfectly fine in class, chilling, writing as small as I can on a piece of paper to try to cram all my notes in, literally to having total blackouts. And what I mean is, like, I would be just sitting there in class like this, and then all of a sudden this would happen. Total darkness. I'm seeing nothing for at least 20 seconds. And it terrified me. I was scared. I was freaked the fuck out. But I'm just thinking, well, maybe these are just allergies. And my friend Janice like, girl, you always rubbing your eyes. Ain't no damn allergies. And I'm like, girl, okay, whatever. So this was happening the spring of 2012. And I was really, like, for real, like, not trying to say there was something majorly wrong with me, because I didn't know. And around that time, I was popping a lot of painkillers because I did not know why my head was hurting as much as it was. Like, I would get these pounding, excruciating headaches that literally the only thing that I would do is go to my room after I got out of school, hurry up and do my homework, and lay down and go to sleep. And it was like that for some months, all the way up into the summer of that year, right? And one day my grandma had left me home by myself. Nothing abnormal. I'm 16. I could do that, right? And that day, like, things was just like not it for me. It wasn't it at all. I started to experience the total blackouts happen more and more and more and more and more. It got to the point where I had to stop playing my sports. I was playing volleyball and I was playing softball. And I was losing a lot of weight at that point because, I mean, my body was active. I was moving. I was doing conditionings. Like, I wasn't on my ass all the time. And around that time, I was wanting to start to drive. So I was starting to drive. My grandma was teaching me how to drive. And, like, I legit was literally in that summer where you, as a teenager, was learning how to drive and get in your car. That's what I was on, right? Trying to get a job, all that, right? But when she left me home that day, we had got somebody, like, going around trying to do promotions or something for some cable company. And I was like, oh, grandma, we got something in on the door. And all I could see was notice, right? That's all I could see was the big ass bold yellow words on the black background, notice. And she was like, how can't you see what's on that paper? Like, going off on me. And I'm like, grandma, like, I really can't see. We really need to go to the doctor about this because I can't see. These blackouts is happening. These headaches is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I get to Dr. Havel. And I'm telling him, like, I don't know what's going on. And he's saying to me, well, I don't know how the hell you just walked in here when there's so much fluid buildup in your eyes. And I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, the right eye's real bad. So my right eye is the eye I really can't see much out of. Like, I can see, like, hand motions. I can see that this ring light is on. I can see this light in this room. But I can't see out that eye like that. No, I couldn't. Like, if I had to rely on that eye, it would fail me every time. So He did the eye test. He did all what he needed to do. And he was like, I'm going to call you 30 minutes after you leave here. And if I call you anytime before that, rush her to the hospital. We was not out of that hospital. We wasn't out of the room before he was like on the phone. My grandma was like, call her right now. Go to the hospital right now. She needs to go to the hospital. And he sent some stuff over to Riley Children's Hospital. And when I got in there, this is where the story gets hard, because when I got in there, I knew something was wrong. How fast the nurses was moving, and how much, like, I can literally vision the shit in my head right now. How the nurses were like talking, and how everything was so urgent. She needs to get these tests urgent. And like everything that those people were saying was urgent. So I'm in the waiting room. My grandmama like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening to me? And when they got me to the back, he did like the little eye thing, and he was like, I think I see what he's talking about. They took me to do a MRI. I got a CAT scan. I got like all the scans, right? So when I got all the scans done, they came back like an hour later and was like, there's something wrong. We don't know what it is right now, but there's something wrong, and we're gonna get it figured out. And I was like, okay. Prior to this, I had never went to the hospital for the headaches. I never told my primary care doctor what was going on, because it was like coming and going. And it wasn't just like a steady, like everyday thing that was happening to me. So once we got into the waiting room in the back, after I got all my scans done, at this point, it's like 2 in the morning. The doctor comes in and he's like, you're getting admitted. Grandma, y'all can stay, y'all can go, but she's getting admitted because she needs hella tests done. So that night I end up having a lumbar puncture, and that's basically where they stick this needle up into your spine and like pull fluid. It was a lot of fluid. It was a lot of fluid. It was so much fluid that they was like, whoa, what's going on? So when they took the fluid, they was just like, you know, they gave me some ice packs and like some warm packs to put on my back, because that shit hurt. And I did it all in the bed, like the bed that I was laying in my room upstairs, like it was all in that, right? They didn't take me down to do a procedure downstairs and anything like that, because it was like, it was gonna cost, well, not cost, it was gonna be way hours ahead of time, and they needed to find out what was wrong right now. So the next morning, the doctors come in and they were like, yeah, we think you have something called Pseudotumor cerebri, or IIH. And I'm like, what is that? So they explained to me what it was. Basically, it is a false tumor. It's acting as if I have a tumor in my head, but there's nothing going on up there, right? There's no tumor at all. So I was like, oh, what? So they was like, yeah, we're gonna wait till your grandmother gets back to the hospital today, and we're gonna, you know, sit your family down and explain to you what happened and what's going on. I'm like, okay. At that time of my life, my mother had went to prison. She was in prison by that point, like 2 years, maybe. Yeah, about 2 years, because I was in the 9th grade. So I was gaining weight at a really rapid pace, like really fast. Hence why I had got myself into sports, because I'm like, well, if I'm in sports, I'll probably most likely slim down, which was happening, but it still was a lot of weight that I had gained that first year my mother was in prison. So I was distraught. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to drive. I'm trying to do things that a normal 16-year-old teenager is trying to do. But all that was stopped in the tracks. The day that they came to that hospital, well, the day that I came to that hospital, and that man stood there and told me, well, you got a tumor, but it's not a tumor. And I'm like, what? To this day, it's so shocking. But all the symptoms that was happening to me, the headaches, the nausea, the fatigues, like all what was happening to me was a buildup, like over 3 to 6 months. And it was getting progressively worse. So I was then scheduled to have a what is it called? Optic nerve sheath, and that's basically where they cut a slit into your optic nerve so the fluid can flow out, right? Then they prescribed me on a medicine called Diamox, and basically that's supposed to help the fluid, you know, drain off your brain and all that stuff. Now, it worked for a lot of years, but after I like graduated high school, things kind of went downhill. But I'm going to end this story here, because this story is not short enough to put in one video, and I don't have that much storage on my phone. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button for part 2, because I put y'all all in the day of. So hopefully this was entertaining for you somewhat and give you a little insight on things that I do and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button with that bell, press all to get all my notifications, and like this video, because part 2 of this video will be posted later this week. I don't want to leave y'all waiting. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.